I'm Leo London. Welcome back to my channel. I just want to thank everybody for the overwhelming positive support I've received in the last 48 hours since I posted my Pendulum Magicians deck. 26 new subscribers, new joiners to the Facebook group. Search us out on Facebook, Yu-Gi Leo. We're going to talk about the YouTube show, we're going to talk about the game, Yu-Gi-Oh! We're going to hold tournaments where I'm going to send you real prize cards. Switch tournaments, maybe dueling book tournaments, but right now it's just on the Switch. And yeah, I just want to build a community of really positive players who are going to support each other and we can all learn together. Speaking of learning together, I have a few questions that were asked on the profile and I want to get to them. Why no Black Fang Magician or Purple Poison Magician in this one? Alright, so White Wing Magician, if you wanted to take him out, or her I should say, and put Purple Poison in, that's totally fine. Why no Black Fang Magician? Because there is no point where I want Black Fang Magician in scale more than I want Celestial Magician in the scale. People really only use Black Fang Magician because it could bring one back to life, Dark Spellcaster, but now that we have Celine, his effect becomes redundant and his ability to get over big monsters, most things can't be targeted, like all these other kinds of things, and really we're just going to use Boral Sword to do that. So it's completely redundant. Can this deck compete with meta decks? Yes, it can, but you are going to have a hard time of it. I would advise anyone who wants to take this to a really serious competition to really look at the extra deck and take up the things that are there for flavor, like Enlightenment Paladin, Nirvana High Paladin, even Clearwing Synchro Dragon to an extent. A lot of those cards you can replace with cards that are just going to be good in every situation, like Appaloosa, IP Masquerena, the Nightmare Package, things like this. Is probably going to do you better long term. If in a meta game, I can guarantee you that if you're going into Nirvana High Paladin, there is no reason for you to do it other than the fact that you've already won and you just want to drop that huge Nirvana deck on the table. And there's no problem with that. I mean, do it. But yeah, you probably want to streamline the deck a little bit more if you're going to take it to a meta competition. But if you do drop Nirvana High Paladin and enter your next regional or whatever it is, whenever those happen to be, please let me know because that is awesome. Last thing is, where'd I get my mat? Okay, so I get asked this a lot. I got my mat because when I was at my last regionals, the Win a Mat side event was for the Order of the Spellcasters Endymion playmat, and I love Endymion. It's one of my favorite archetypes because it's based off a myth that I was told as a kid by my grandma back home in Greece. So I really wanted it, but I didn't want to drop out because I could still top at the regional. So I told the organizer, I will give whoever wins infinite impermanence if they give me the mat, just tell them. And then the organizer told the winner came to me and said, you don't gotta tell me twice. We swapped, and then I gave him the old mat that I had. I think it was like Borreload Exchange Dragon or something. And yeah, that's where I got the mat. So now we're gonna get into some test hands. And again, thank you everybody for all the support. I'll see you again in a minute. Okay, so from here, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Now, on the surface, this doesn't look very good, but I can tell you right now, we are gonna end on a fairly strong board. So the first thing we're gonna do, of course, activate Spell Power Mastery, because we want that Servant of Endymion, because Servant of Endymion is still one of the best cards in the deck, probably one of the best cards in the game, and I still don't think it should have been limited. I think they could have left it safely if they were going to hit anything. Electromite was fine. There was no need to hit both. I thought both was a little harsh. We're going to activate that Duelist Alliance. Put that counter on Servant. We're going to get the Star Pendulum Graph. We are not going to get Pen Call because we got really lucky and opened with Wisdom Eye Magician. If we had one Wisdom Eye Magician and 2 other magicians, it would be equally as good, but instead we got 2, and I think that's even better. Now we activate that Star Pendulum Graph. We scale the Wisdom Eye. We resolve Servant's effect. because we've now put 3 counters on Servant after activating the Wisdom Eye. I'm trying to go through this as quickly as possible while also giving a thorough explanation. So it's difficult. I may bumble up steps, but as long as you do them in this order, just a little bit more clear than I am, you'll be okay. Now we don't want to activate our Pot of Desires yet. So what we're going to do is, of course, activate that second Wisdom Eye in scale. Bang. Now we activate Wisdom Eye Magician's effect. And we're going to look for the Oath Dragon Magician. But Star Pendulum Graph is going to add Harmonizing Magician to our hand at the same time. And we might as well take out that Celestial Magician because that's what the other one is going to form. This is added to our hand after using Wisdom Eye's effect in scale by the Star Pendulum Graph. We then activate the second Wisdom Eye and slide it into Perform a Pal Celestial Magician, giving us really good protection that often gets overlooked. If your opponent is somehow able to punch over your Dawn Dragster, your Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, your Enlightenment Paladin, whatever it is, Perform a Pal Celestial Magician brings it right back. And if you've used Pendulum Call, it's literally for free. If you haven't used Pendulum Call, the cost is simply taking itself out of the graveyard, which would activate the Star Pendulum Graph, allowing you to add another magician to your hand. It's very good. Its protection effect is highly underrated, I think. But yeah, use it. So now we're going in to activate that Pot of Desires, put 2 more counters on the Jackal King. Add those 2 cards to our hand. All right. So unfortunately, we drew 1 dead card in the Spell Power Mastery, which we can't throw away to the graveyard like I would want to. I activate the Oath Dragon Magician. I add the Wisdom Eye Magician to my hand. Why am I going to do that? Because I want to be able to summon both the Wisdom Eye, both Wisdom Eyes off of my Pendulum Summon. So I'm going to link them away into Daybreaker, the Shining Magical Warrior. Then I'm going to Pendulum Summon. Now remember, you can only special summon Servant of Endymion once. So unfortunately, am I going to summon them both? I'm actually not going to summon them both. Interesting. I activate the Servant, activate the Mighty Master of Magic here, and then Harmonizing Magician will bring out this guy here, our level 7 Magician. We then Xyz into Absolute Dragon, building the overlay network. We then Xyz with our Time Star Magician activating its effect. We're going to add, I don't know, a level 4 to our hand most likely. Okay, we're going to add that Celestial Magician. So then we link summon into the Cross Sheep. The Cross Sheep, and that gives us our Vortex Dragon. The Vortex Dragon triggers Cross Sheep's effect, bringing back that Harmonizing Magician from earlier. We then link summon again, sending away our Time Star Magician for our Selene. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters on Selene. We're going to take those 3 away. We're going to bring back actually the Wisdom Eye Magician and then Synchro Summon into Borrowed Savage Dragon, we're going to attach Daybreaker. Now at the end of the turn, because of, Now, when we pass turn, we have many options. We can bring back the Mighty Master of Magic on our opponent's turn, the Time Star if we need it, whichever one. Then it would bounce the Mythical Beast Jackal King, for example, hopefully after it's used its negation, and put the counters on it, and then you're able to use them for the next turn to keep extending. And your opponent is going to have a hard time dealing with all of this, especially with the protection from Performer Pal Celestial Magician. If somehow they're able to punch over the Vortex, you just activate this effect and you bring back the Vortex. And you have so many options available to you, especially on your second turn, if they can hammer through this. And that was off a fairly mediocre hand. Now in that hand in particular, I may have misspoke. You cannot use Celestial Magician to bring back Vortex Dragon. That was some misinformation. Now, the reason we ended the hand with Performer Pal Celestial Magician also in my hand, not only in the scale. So we have the protection effect from Celestial Magician in the scale. Then when we pass turn and it comes back to our turn, we normal summon the Performer Pal Celestial Magician. We activate its effect. As long as we have a Synchro Monster on the field, your opponent cannot activate monster effects for the rest of the turn. So anything they've set up is shut off. This hurts Shadal's really bad. It hurts so many decks really bad if they can't activate monster effects on top of the negations and things you've already set up. It's devastating. So we're going to get into another one. Not fantastic at all, actually. You might notice that in Triff Gaming's video, he said that these were dead if you drew them together, but that's exactly why we play this star and Time Pendulum Graph. These are never dead, unless you happen to draw all three and a Duelist Alliance, which I doubt it's ever going to happen. So we're going to activate Magician Souls first. Special summon it by sending a Mighty Master of Magic to the graveyard, hopefully setting up our Vortex play. Then you're going to activate Spell Power Mastery. I'm going to find the Servant of Endymion. Still one of the best cards in the deck. Can't believe it came in a structure deck. If you're wondering about her role in the actual myth of Endymion, Endymion was so kind a ruler that he would never do anything. He would never ask his servants to do anything that he wouldn't do himself, and I think she reflects that. We're going to activate the Duelist Alliance, putting one counter on the servant. We're going to find the Star Pendulum Graph that I've apparently passed already. The Magister would be his teacher, I believe, and his power even reflects his kindness because he would never let one of his people fight in his place, so that's why he bounces one back to your hand. At least that's how I choose to interpret it. I don't know if they actually thought that far ahead or not, but that's what I believe. Star Pendulum Graph is 2. Gonna go for the riskier play here, just to make sure I shuffle. I can't remember, but what? Because we want that +1. Check what we have here. Excellent. Nothing really important. Check the hand. Okay, so immediately we're going to discard that Pot of Desires for the pen call. And it doesn't matter which other one we choose. I think we're going to choose a level 4. We're going to choose the other Celestial Magician. Now we could have resolved Sermon's effect before using the desires, and we probably should have, but you know, sometimes in these demonstrations you forget to do things in a particular order. So yeah, in a live duel, definitely get the Servant off first. Then we normal summon the Performa Pal Celestial Magician, and we activate its effect to add a card to our hand at the end of our turn. We then link these monsters away. And Daybreaker, not into Daybreaker. So Performa Pal Celestial Magician left the field, so Star Pendulum Graph will add a Magician to our hand. Oath Dragon Magician. And then we scale and scale. And then we can pen summon. You know, link summon with these ones. Into our first copy of Selene. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Penny. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to take away those 3. Special summoning out the Mighty Master. We seize. Into Odd Eye's Absolute Dragon. We seize. Into the Time Star Magician. We detach, putting Harmonizing Magician in the grave to search for, doesn't really matter, but Time Gazer Magician, let's say. We're going to add that to our hand. Then we're going to link summon. Out comes the Cross Sheep. Brilliant invention, or addition I should say, to the deck by Triff Gaming. Really smart, really clever. Ooh, that's the wrong fusion. Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Penny, please stop making a fuss. Vortex Dragon will bring back Harmonizing Magician. We will then link the Cross Sheep and the Time Gazer Magician into a second Selene. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should remembered from last time, but we're just gonna put 5. And we're going to bring back the Performa Pal Celestial Magician. Hi, Penny. Yes, I know. You have food, don't lie. We're going to Synchro Summon. Into our Borreload Savage Dragon. Oop, that is the deck. You're going to want to look at your graveyard for a link monster to attach to Borreload Savage Dragon upon his summon. Then at the end of the turn, we will add a Pendulum monster. Let's go with the Mighty Master of Magic. And from there, we will pass turn. And on our opponent's turn, we can either summon the Mighty Master from the hand, maybe one from the graveyard. If you've used the Millennium Eyes, you can use that to set up an additional negation, whatever you like. But on the next turn, the first thing we are going to do is just like I said before, we would draw our card, okay? We would activate Oathdrake Magician's effect, add the Celestial Magician to our hand, normal summon it, and then activate its effects. You've now shut off all of your opponent's monster's effects. So regardless of what they've summoned, it's probably not going to do anything to you. Then we would just use 3 more counters from Celine, special summon out, I don't know, the Time Gazer, and link these 3 into another Celine. And yeah, whatever we summoned here, maybe it was the Endymion, we just link whatever was there away to get that 3rd Celine. Now she's up to 8 counters again, and then we are free to search a card with the Star Pendulum Graph. We're going to add the Harmonizing Magician. Penny, please stop making a fuss. And then we can either summon up the Endymion, like whatever we have done. You know, maybe we want, I don't know, the Clear Wing, just because I like it. We're gonna go into that. And you know, you've guaranteed got enough damage to punch at this point. And then we would bring out, I don't know, whatever else we wanted. So your options are numerous. And you get a board even like this and are able to punch for them. They're not gonna survive that turn too. Oof. This is not great. It's risky to use the allures right now. So first thing we're gonna do is activate that Spell Power Mastery. That's why you essentially have 4 servants in the deck. You always wanna see it because she's busted. I felt that her limiting was a little harsh. I don't know if I've said that already, but her limited to 1 and Electromite Band was uncalled for. One or the other would have been fine. It's not like pendulums were at the top of the meta. There's no reason to hit them, really. Just want to shuffle again, just to be sure. Because we are going to be drawing. It's awkward doing that with the camera in the way. I'm going to activate that Upstart Goblin, giving your opponent 1,000 life points, but letting you draw. Magician's Souls, okay. Allure of Darkness now is safe. So we're going to draw the next 2. Oh, very good, very good, very good. We're going to put the Wisdom Eye in the graveyard to activate Pendulum Call's effect, putting the 3rd counter on Servant, and getting ourselves Perform House Celestial Magician and Harmonizing Magician. Then we're going to activate Servant's effect. We're going to special summon out the Mythical Beast Jackal King. And then we're going to activate that Allure of Darkness. Yeah, we're going to have to get rid of souls again. Yeah. Going to normal the Harmonizing. We're going to link them away. Now it's unfortunate you can only pendulum special summon Servitive Tibion once per turn, because it would be really nice if we could just pen summon her back out, but you cannot. We're going to activate Oathdrake Magician's effect, add the Harmonizing back to hand. We're going to Pendulum Summon. Probably leave her in attack mode, not that it matters. Harmonizing effects. Penny, please stop making a fuss. assure you, she's well fed. She's just making a fuss. I don't know if you guys can hear her. She's chasing some sort of feather around. We Xyz. And we really need to put a level 7 in the graveyard. So what we're going to do is activate Time Starts effect, put Perform a Pal Celestial Magician in the graveyard, and we're going to find our third copy of Magician's Souls. And we're going to special summon it by sending Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic, to the graveyard. Then we're going to link it away into our first copy of Selene. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. We're going to take this down to 4, and it's going to special summon out the Mighty Master of Magic. We're going to link summon away. Oh, Xyz summon first. Xyz summon into the Absolute Dragon. Link summon into the Cross Sheep. Gives us our Odd Eyes. Cross Sheep. Gives us our Celestial Magician. We activate Celestial Magician's effect now. You link these monsters away. We go to our second copy of Selene. I believe she has 8, so we're just gonna, I believe it was 8, I don't know, but either way, oh no, it was 7. So we're gonna take this rate deck down to 4 and special summon out the Harmonizing Magician. We link summon, or synchro summon. Into Borreload Savage Dragon. We're gonna keep that space clear. Attach one of those Selenes. Now again, on your opponent's turn, you're gonna bring out the Mighty Master of Magic, the level 7 Magician if you want, the Time Star Magician if you're looking to protect them from a lightning storm or something. But you can also special summon what we are going to search from our hand. Because of Celestial Magician's effect, at the end of our turn, we will add the second Jackal King to our hand. So we have all of our bases covered. And then once we pass turn, we will add the Harmonizing back to our hand, or the Celestial Magician if you wanted to use the wiping effect, whatever you wanted. And your options with this deck are just so vast. So even off that, I would say, pretty bad hand, having to banish 2 $100 cards, we were still able to set up a board that your opponent is going to struggle to get over. On their turn, you would have summoned this out, or this out. They're gonna have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time. Are you gonna slap around every single meta deck in every single match? No. Can you? Yes. Okay, that was 3 test hands showing the versatility and the power of this deck. Now, I didn't get to go into the fun things like Nirvana High Paladin, but those are mostly turn 2 cards where you're only gonna punch them and kill them. So you might make a Lightning Paladin to give you back a Duelist Alliance or a Pendulum Call that you might need, whatever you want. And then same with Nirvana High Paladin. If you're summoning that, it's because you've already won the game and you want to punch them for a lot of damage. And yeah, it's so versatile. Yes, you can beat the meta decks. Yes, you're going to struggle probably, like I said, against some of the really top tier ones. But if you're a good pilot and a patient player, you're going to be able to win those games. If you have success with it, let me know. If you make changes, let me know. Join the Facebook group, Yugi Leo. If you search that on Facebook, you should be able to find it. You can talk to me about deck lists. You can talk to other people in a Pendulum community about your deck ideas and everything like that. And hell, you might even see stuff from my wrestling career if you really want. So yeah, join up and just stay happy and stay healthy out there during this time.